the time came for performing Ravan's Antyasamskar. And Vibhishan said, Ravan was such a wicked person. I don't feel I should do that samskar. So Lord Ram said that no aversion should ever be held for the soul. Whatever karma he did, he got his punishment. He's not going to harm anyone now. You do your dharma. So the idea is that at a personal level, we understand nobody is evil. And the sense that even I said a person is wicked, the soul is not wicked. The soul is pure. See, but the difference between these three people, see, everybody has anarthas. Anarthas is calm, growth, and lobha. Everybody has them. But if you consider a person, what makes them goodness, weakness, wickedness? So everybody has anarthas, but people in goodness, they fight and win. That means it's not that a person who is a virtuous person will not get angry. But they have a sense of boundaries by which they will keep their anger under control. Like if we live in some civilized culture, society, then we may get angry, but in all of us will keep our anger under some regulation. Say, if we are a cultural society, we will not use swear words. We will not become physically aggressive. So, a sign of goodness is we fight and we win. That doesn't mean the arthas are not there, the battle is not there. But we keep it within some boundaries. Now, in weakness, the person wants to fight, but they fight and lose. So, such people, sometimes they need to be helped. They may need external support. So, for example, if somebody is an alcoholic and they actually want to give up alcohol. But then when the urge comes, at that time they may succumb. So then they have to make sure that there is no alcohol available for them at that time. Sometimes people are taken to de-addiction centers, where external environment does not allow them to indulge. So they have weakness, so they need external support for protection. But then the big question is, are they at least ready to fight against it? So, but the common thing is, in general, people fight against. We fight against the anarthas, we win, we lose. But the big difference with wickedness is that they don't fight against the anarthas, they fight for the anarthas. That means they fight to fulfill their anger. They fight to fulfill their greed. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Idamadhyamaya labdham imam prapse manoratham idamasti idamapime bhavishyati punardhanam asaumaya hata shatrun hanishye chaparanari. This enemy I have killed, that enemy I have killed. And it's in pride and joy in killing. So everybody has anger. But when somebody thinks that the sign of their cleverness and their success is in finding ways to express their anger and eliminate their opponents. So if you are not ready to fight against your anarthas, then society will have to fight with you. And that's why, so here both these people, they can be controlled by Shastra. But these people have to be controlled by Shastra. Shastra is weapons. So, Samavartinaha means we see everybody is a soul. But the point is, Samavartinaha will not work in society. So, even a demoniac person, even a wicked person has a soul just like you and me. And even they can be redeemed. But they can be reformed only when they want to reform. If they do not want to reform, then we cannot help them. At that time, only thing we can do is help others from not being harmed by them. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. So thank you very much. Do you have a question? Yes. Okay, please. Yes. You are the boss.
I'm only seva. Thank you. Prabhu, my question is, you said the relationship in sattva is regulated and the relationship in the bhakti is redirected. So can I understand that the relationship in sattva has still is somewhat misdirected and it's somewhat not fully selfless, but the relationship in bhakti is entirely selfless, and then from the relationship in sattva we transition from some selflessness to complete selflessness is bhakti. Is that the right understanding?
Good point. That is it that in sattva there is some level of selflessness but not full, and bhakti is full selflessness. See, selfless, the word has multiple different meanings. What do we mean by selfless? Like a parent cares for the child. Is that selfless? Well, certainly the parent is living for something beyond themselves. So it is selfless. But then the parent also has so many expectations from the child. And so it's not exactly selfless. You could say, especially the child is small, what the parent does for the child is far, far more than what the child does for the parent. But there are some expectations in that. So it is close to selfless, but it's not selfless. Now, so selfless can be in two different senses. One is, what is the expectation we have? So for example, if you give charity. Now some people may give charity because it's like next like insurance. Isn't it? So if you're thinking of that, is that selfless? Well, at least, so we can say selfless can mean long term. So long term is also some level of selflessness. At least it is not for my immediate self, not my present self. It is for my distant self, future self. It could be 10 years after, it could be next life. So selfless, the word can have a scale of meaning. Selfless, it is not gross, immediate. Sometimes some people give food to a hungry person and that person smiles. Oh, that smile makes me feel so happy. So is it selfless? Well, at a gross level it is selfless. But at a subtle level it is not. So selfless could be not gross but immediate. So let's put it this way. So I gross and immediate means I give some food to that person, smiles at me, that person appreciates me. So selfless could be, that means I'm not getting anything material in return, but I'm getting something in return. So it is, there is like this, we can move forward in degrees of selflessness. So it is not gross, not immediate. That means I'll get some punya and I'll get something in the future. So then if we move forward, when we say this selfless love means that we don't expect any reciprocation at all. Can there be a relationship if there is no reciprocation? So that is where selfless means it is not that no reciprocation, it is non-dependent on reciprocation. So the gopis' love for Krishna is considered the greatest, not because they don't expect reciprocation of Krishna. When the gopis leave everything and come to Krishna in the forest of Vrindavan, and Krishna leaves them and goes away, they're shattered, completely devastated. Krishna, how do you do this? Oh, say, I'm doing this class and maybe I close my eyes to recite a verse and I open the verse and nobody here. What happened? Where did you go? You didn't even tell, okay, that last time is over, we're leaving now. So the gopis are dancing with Krishna and Krishna disappears. How can you do this? So they are shattered. And they have sacrificed so much for Krishna. They risk their life, they risk their reputation. They have to come to Krishna and Krishna abandons them. Krishna abandons them, apparently rejects them, but they don't reject Krishna. So the idea is, my relationship with you does not depend on your reciprocation. That doesn't mean I don't want reciprocation. Of course I want reciprocation. What is the last verse of Shikshashtakam? Ashlishava padaratam pinishtuma adarshana marmahatam karotu yatha tathava yatha pato mat prananathas tusa evana. So whether you embrace me, Ashlish, or you trample me underfoot, what does that mean? You neglect me. Adarshana. So it's like we go to meet someone and that person is very warm or that person is very cold. Or that person refuses to meet us. So that is adarshana. Or marmatam. That is Krishna rather saying, if you want to go and be with somebody else and you don't want to be with me at all. But all of these, from the perspective of emotions for her, they are very different. Each of these is more and more pain. But still, mat prananathas tusaevana. So when the gopis have every reason to reject Krishna. No, sad. And yet they do not reject him. That is such great love that Krishna says, I cannot reward you anymore. Your love is so glorious, just be satisfied with this love. So the point, selfless can be at many different degrees. So yes, if somebody is giving charity and expecting some inner satisfaction because of that, is it selfless? Yes, it is one level of selflessness. And society needs that level of selflessness also. Or we will say that if somebody cares for their child, is that selfless? Yes, it is some level of selflessness. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Rajoguna is like an antidote to Tamoguna, which is like poison. So what does that mean? Let's say a Rajasic parent may have a lot of expectations on the child. You do this, study like this, you get marks, you dress like this, you do this, you do this, do this. They have a lot of expectations. But if the child falls sick, the child has a critical health need, the parent will move heaven and hell to make sure that the child is needed taken care of. In contrast with that, Tamasic parent may be so stoned on drugs that they don't even know the child exists. I met one devotee in America. He told me that his father was never in the picture and his mother was almost like a drug. He said, from the age of 5, I was taking care of my mother. So basically, if they have food stamps, I would go to the place where you get the food stamps and get food and I would take care of her. So he said, this is Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita. So he said that if Krishna like a mother, Krishna like a father, I had never known a mother's love nor a father's love. So that metaphor doesn't make any sense to me at all. So the point is that this kind of parents, a Rajasic parent may not be any spiritual, but 100 times better than the Tamasic parent. A Sattvic parent would be a parent who cares not just for the material well-being of the child, but also the mental and moral well-being of the child. I don't just want you to be successful, I want you to grow up with values. I want you to not just have success, but also values that will help you grow in life. And then a spiritual parent will be even higher. So we don't devalue any level of selflessness, but we don't consider it to be the highest level.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.